Hello, everyone popping on.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, welcome to Transformational Tuesday. Anything can happen on Transformational Tuesday. So happy you're here. You're popping on. I will share my screen. Nice. My favorite time of the day, watching people pop on. It never gets old. Never. I've been doing it for 14 months. I get excited every single time. Todd, thank you so much for starting the recording. You're awesome. All right, I'm sharing my screen. We are here today on Transformational Tuesday for yoga for beginners. Thought it would be a great idea, even for people who have practiced yoga for decades, or for people who are just starting to practice, and for everyone in between. Yoga for beginners, we just break down poses, talk about correct alignment. It's a very interactive class. Unlike the other classes, you can unmute yourself and we can talk about poses. We can talk about different modifications for your body. Please don't hesitate to ask questions, because your question could be something that 5 other people are wanting to know also. So please, please, please participate in this class. Last week, we went over seated poses and cat and cows. And on Wednesday, we went over, or Thursday, we went over warrior poses, standing poses, warrior poses. We got a good workout there. So you still get a workout in this class. We just kind of break down poses so that we prevent any kind of injury going on. For those of you who have been with me before, I have been teaching virtual yoga for 14 months, and I am proud to announce that there has not been one injury, because I am so specific about cues and about modifications. And if there is a modification that I am not giving, always put it in the chat box, always unmute yourself and let me know. In this class, just unmute yourself. Okay, does anybody have any questions about yoga for beginners? Okay, we'll move on. I'm Christina. I live in Long Beach, California. Hence, I get to teach outside in this beautiful environment. Yay for me. If I lived in Western Massachusetts still, not so much. They just had 6 feet of snow, or 6 inches of snow. I am a yoga, meditation, and spin instructor with a background of breath work, Reiki, life coaching, and massage therapy. What you need to know about me is that I am passionate about each one of us living our best lives and the strongest, most authentic selves we are. So that's what I'm about. That's what I practice on the mat, and I attempt to practice off the mat as well. That's what you need to know about me. We learn from each other in this class, especially this class. If you are comfortable, put your cameras on. This is a very interactive class. I want to see what's happening with your bodies, and ask me any questions you can. And I will literally bring the camera to the mat so you can see specifics of angles of everything you need to know. You will get an email for this class after with the notes, but if you don't, you can always email help@getsetup.io. If you are joining live stream, welcome to Yoga for Beginners on this beautiful Transformational Tuesday. So happy to have you with us. But if you would register and participate in person, I'd love it. So please consider that. Lastly, Get Set Up is not promoted to promote any products. So even though we talk about products, we do not get paid for that. I want to introduce Todd. Todd is our Get Set Up TA for the day. Everybody say hi, Todd. Hi, Todd. Thank you, Todd. If you have any questions about the website, about registering for class, if you're not comfortable unmuting yourself and saying, hey, Christina, what about this? You can put it in the chat box and Todd will get my attention. Anything else before we get started? I'm so happy to see so many familiar faces, and I'm so happy to see new people. So yay. We will start with some pranayama, some breath work to kind of ground, bring us into the present moment. and bring us into our bodies, onto the mats. So get comfortable on your mat. There'll be no music today because I don't want distractions with instruction for yoga for beginners. So just sit comfortably. So I brought with me a blanket folded. So some of us, our hips, and I talk about this every class because it's so important. Sometimes for some of us, it's just not comfortable sitting on the floor like this for a variation of reasons. So you can take a folded blanket and sit on it to elevate your glutes to take the pressure off your hips, right? When you do that, some of us have our knees up here. So that's not comfortable. This is called easy pose, Sukhasana, easy pose. But if your knees are up here and your hip flexors are tightening, your hips are tightening, that's not easy. So take props, pillows, blankets, and just tuck them under your knees for support. Oh my gosh, takes the pressure off the hips like that. So do that. Get yourself cozy there in easy pose. Place the palms on the thighs, sit up nice and tall. Do a gentle double chin, bringing the neck in line with the spine. Engage your core right away. So like do a little slight tuck of the tailbone so you're not overarching in the back. And gently close the eyes. Take a cleansing inhale through the nose. And exhale it out the mouth. Take another one. Big inhale through the nose. And exhale it out the mouth. Gently close the lips. We'll connect to our Ujjayi breath today. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And just start to slow and deepen the breath, right? So often we just bring enough oxygen into our bodies to barely enter our lungs, right? So our lungs are a muscle. We have to exercise them. So the deeper we breathe, the more they get their exercise. So breathe deeply, fill them up with max capacity. Feel the belly rise. And then on your exhale through the nose, there's a slight constriction in the back of your throat that can cause an audible wave-like sound on each exhale through the nose. It's like a vibration. I like to allow to wash over me. But just notice that. If you have any questions about this breath work, you can ask me in a few moments. But just close your eyes, connecting to the Ujjayi breath, feeling the bottom body on the mat, sitting on the block, whatever you're on. Just feel the connection, feel the palms pressed into your thighs. Feel the body rise and fall with each breath cycle. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Before we blink open our eyes, I just want us to think about today, Transformational Tuesday. I love to name my days. Transformational Tuesday, and why you came to the mat today. What is a goal that you want to achieve for yourself? Think about it, commit to it, put it in the chat box. I'd love to know your goals. And breathe it into your body. Everything and anything is possible when we commit and dedicate ourselves to a goal, as long as we do the pragmatic work to achieve it. Gently blink open your eyes. I'm so happy you are here. Does anybody have, I would really love to know your goals, what you want from this class, what you want from all your classes coming to your mat. If anyone wants to unmute themselves and talk about a pose that is uncomfortable or you're uncertain of, please unmute yourself and let me know. We can start there with requests. And if not, if no one does that, then I will just start with, we'll move right into tabletop. So tabletop is stacking our joints. We went over this the other day. So at my house, I have this nice cushion pad underneath me. It's so nice, but here I'm on concrete. So I don't have a yoga pad for my knees. So I'm going to use a folded blanket, get the wrinkles out because it helps with balance, put the knees on it, place the knees underneath the shoulders, and the wrist creases are directly under the shoulders or behind. We never jet the shoulders forward. The fingers are spread wide. And the wrist creases and the edge of the mat make the number 11. Can everyone see that? Okay. So what a lot of us do, can you see my hands okay? Can somebody give me a thumbs up if you can and a thumbs down if you can't? Okay. So a lot of us, and I did this for years and had shoulder issues because of it. So that's why I'm so particular about this. A lot of us will come here and I'll say wrist creases in line with the mat, but then there's like this. So your wrist creases are actually in line with the corner of the mat. That's externally rotating our shoulders open, which compromises them. Some of us have them kind of pigeon-toed, right? They're in. That internally rotates our shoulder and compromises our elbow joints. So that's why I'm so particular with your wrist creases in line with the mat. Fingers spread. Push the cushions of your fingertips into the mat. Press between the thumb and the index finger because we want the weight of our upper body between our thumb and the index finger so we don't roll over to the outside of our hand where our nerves are, right? Then one more thing. I know there's so many cues, right? But this will help you practice yoga for the rest of your life without injury. So another thing about the upper body, the arms. So a lot of us just keep the elbows out like this, but you're compromising the shoulders, the wrists, and the elbows. So we internally rotate the inner elbows forward, and that stabilizes the shoulder girdle, and the elbow joints. So does everybody get that? Can you feel that? When you rotate those inner elbows forward, you can actually feel the stabilization in the shoulders. It kind of feels fantastic. All right, so there, we have our hand, our arm placement. We're in, elbows rotated forward. Now, neck is in line with the spine, right? So often we dump or we're looking up, so much pressure on our cervical spine. So our gaze is down, the neck is in line with the spine, the belly is engaged, the navel is up towards the spine. So we're not already like this, or we're not like this or off center. So we take an inhale, watch me first. We drop the belly, lift the tailbone, the heart, the gaze. We come into our cow pose. We exhale, begin to tuck the chin, hollow out the belly, dome the shoulders, tuck the chin into our cat pose. Inhale, slowly moving into our cow. The whole time you are keeping those inner elbows rotating forward. Exhale, slowly coming into your cat. The breath initiates the movement throughout your cat and cow. You're pressing between the thumbs and the index finger. Keep going, close your eyes, find the rhythm of your breath. This can really be a moving meditation. Do a few more. Mary, if you unmute yourself, I would love to hear your question. Everyone else can keep moving through their cat-cow. The yogis used to Some of them wake up in the morning and do 100 cat and cows. It creates abdominal, core, and organ strength. It increases the flexibility of your spine. It builds back muscle and shoulder muscle. It gives a
I have,
fluidity.
I'm sorry to
You're
interrupt
good,
you.
Mary.
I have bad knees. I don't know exactly how to put them where I feel comfortable. Maybe that's one of the things. And my hands, I think that I'm actually on my wrist instead of my whole hand.
Oh, okay. So two things. I'm not sure what your knee situation is. So for
Mhm.
some of us, we can't be on our knees, depending on surgery, whatever your issues are. You can do
Okay.
cat cow seated.
Oh, okay.
Cat
So how do you
cow.
do that?
Cat cow can also be done seated. I love these questions. Okay, so you get into your comfy, your easy
Okay.
pose. Right? If you sit wherever, you can do it in a chair too.
Okay.
So let's try this because we will do this often in class. Sit up nice and tall. So
Okay.
your back is flat, your neck is in line with the spine, right? We so often, this is how we usually hang out in our
Oh,
everyday.
yes.
Right? We roll the shoulders back and down, and then we do a double chin, bringing the neck in line with the spine. Engage the core, reach the tailbone down. Can everyone feel that engagement? That's your
Okay.
engagement for almost every single pose we do in yoga. We sit up tall. We take an inhale. We begin to draw the navel forward, arching our back, rolling the shoulders back and down, doing a slight gaze up. This is our seated cow pose. So we're not throwing our heads back. It's nice and controlled. We're using the muscles in our neck, lifting the chin slightly, gazing up. Here is your cow pose. Your palms are on your knees. Your elbows are relaxed. And then we take an exhale. We begin to hollow, bring the navel in towards the spine, scooping it out, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, doming the shoulders, coming into your cat pose. Inhale, we come through tallness. We completely come into our cow pose. We exhale, move through tallness, hollowing out the belly, doming the shoulders, tucking the tailbone and the chin, coming into our cat pose. Does anyone have questions about this? Mary, did that answer your question? Does that help you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it, am I
Oh.
supposed to be breathing when I go down and exhaling when I go up?
So we inhale when we're coming into our cow pose. This
Okay.
cow, we're open. We exhale, move through tallness into our cat.
Got it.
Inhale through tallness into our cow. I always say we move through our tallness because sometimes people are like this. But I want every movement that we make be intentional, right? Be mindful of the body. Moving into our cat, coming through tallness, and then shifting through into our cow. Exhaling, moving through tallness into cat. So moving into cow is a complete inhale. Moving into cat is a complete exhale.
Natalie,
So what,
do
Mary?
we use our hands on our knees to push into the, we do?
We kind of do, right? Can you feel it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We kind of do. Just kind of organically check it out. We kind of, like when we come into our cow, I see how my elbows just naturally bend. I don't even think of it, right? And then when we come into our cat, the elbows, because we're creating more space, the elbows kind of stretch, the arms stretch out a little bit. Great question. Does everybody feel that? Can
Yeah.
everybody appreciate the blessing of cat and cow pose. It is such a beautiful sequence to do for your body on and off the mat. You can be watching TV, have your feet on the ground, and just come into cat and cow. It is so good for us to mindfully breathe, to get movement in our spine. Okay, any other questions about cat cow? All right. I really loved people's goals. Thank you so much for sharing, and I invite everyone else to share as well. Okay, so from tabletop, and if you're in a seated pose, just bear with us here. Stay in your seated pose, move through your cat cow. From your cat cow, we come into tabletop, we tuck our toes. Those inner elbows are reaching forward, engage your core, neck's in line with the spine, shoot the shoulders away from the hips. The shoulders always want to come up here. We're going to engage the core, take a deep inhale. And then we exhale, lift the knees, shoot the tailbone up to the sky, and then push between the thumb and the index finger, pushing your chest closer to your thighs. Rotate the upper arms forward towards your ears, so you're protecting, stabilizing your shoulder and your elbow joint. You're pushing the cushions of your fingertips into the mat, pushing the shoulder blades away from your ears towards your tailbone. Now pedal it out. And if down dog does not work for you, you can stay in tabletop, or stay in tabletop and then shift your hips side to side. If being in tabletop doesn't work for your knees, you sit and you just begin to do circles, hip circles. That's a great modification. So from down dog, we pause, we press the heels into the mat. We engage every single muscle in the body. Take an inhale here. Exhale, walk the hands to the feet, come into a forward fold. So if you're seated, this is the time to come up and meet us in a forward fold. Sway side to side. Let's grab opposite elbows. Let the elbows sway side to side like a pendulum. Here, we have a tendency to have our head lifted, so we're looking at the mat, but relax wherever you are, relax the neck. So shake your head yes, shake your head no, relaxing the neck, and just sway side to side. We sway side to side, big bend in the knees, you get a nice stretch in the outer hip. Pause in stillness, place the palms on the mat. Make sure your feet are like the number 11. Take an inhale, find your half lift. So we lift tall, just like in tabletop. Your back is long, your neck is in line with the spine. We're not looking up, we're not tucking our chin. We're nice, we have our nice long line of energy. Shoulders are back and down. Bring the navel into the spine and squeeze your sides in. This is a hard pose. I know it's a transition pose, but I want us, when we transition through into half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, that we are engaged and strong in it. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. This is my favorite part, you guys. I love this one. So our knees are bent, fingertips on the mat. We engage the quads, we engage the navel, we bring the arms out wide. And when we inhale with a nice long flat back. We bring the arms up. The knees are the last to straighten. And then we exhale, prayer, hands to heart center. Half sun salutations. Can you see my head? I think my head's cut off. All right. So that is a half sun salutation. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay, we're going to move through two more. I want to see if you can, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and breathe. And if I'm saying inhale and you're exhaling, because believe me, I did that for years and I was always so judgy about it to myself, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you're breathing, okay, deeply and consciously. So come into hip distance apart. So you pick one foot up, you bring it to the heel, right? And when you come into your forward fold from down dog or from sitting, always just mindfully come into hip distance. So the prayer hands are at heart center. We're nice and tall. In our mountain, we love our mountain. You ground all four corners of the feet into the mat. You take an inhale, you bring the arms up and overhead. We exhale. So watch my exhale first. I want you to watch this first. The arms are up and overhead. I'm strong here. Everything's engaged. I start bending my knees as I hinge forward. The arms come out like I'm an airplane. See how my neck is in line with the spine? I'm not dropping it. And then I fold. At the bottom of the exhale, I complete the fold. I inhale to half lift. I exhale, forward fold, nice bend in the knees. The arms are out wide. The core is engaged. The quads, I inhale, lift with that flat back. And then I exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Ready? Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, knees bent, arms out. Inhale, rise strong, building core and quad strength. Exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. See if you can close your eyes here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, knees bent, arms out. Inhale, rise. By keeping the knees bent and bringing us up in a flat back, we're protecting our lower back. Exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Pause here in mountain pose. Ground all four corners of the feet into the mat. Maybe you can feel the energy building in your body from moving through your half sun salutations. Gently blink open your eyes. Are there any questions about half sun salutations? Okay, so we're in our mountain pose. We have prayer hands. We've been doing this in cardio classes, and we're going to continue build it up in our strengthen and stretch in slow flow. So I really want to go over this pose. We're going over Utkatasana, chair pose, fierce pose, strength building. So I will today going into chair pose because it's safer on our knees. The big toes touch and there's a space between the heels. So it's like a little pizza pie. Okay. Prayer hands at heart center. Nice tall mountain pose. Tailbones reaching towards the mat so you're not overarching or overcorrecting and having the hips jutting forward. From here, I want you to lift the toes up. I really want you to feel this pose and do it correctly because it's a great strength building pose. So get the toes and then just lay them down, right? The toes aren't doing the work here. So we're going to take an inhale, grow tall, engage the core, and then we exhale, begin to shoot the glutes back, lower them as we bend the knees. The weight of your body is on your heels. The toes are just there. They're to complement your feet. The glutes are back. All the weight is on your heels. Bring it back so you almost feel like you're falling over or falling backwards, but you won't, right? Because the quad strength and your core strength. Okay, here's another one. When you're here, and if you need to come out of this at any time, please do and come back in. We're squeezing the inner thighs together, the knees together, and we're bringing the navel into the spine. So I don't care if you just come this far down. Get the weight on your heels. You're still getting the benefit. Loretta, I'd like to see you lift your chest a little bit more. Yep, yep. Bring your weight on your heels a little bit more. Nice flat back, belly buttons in line with the spine. So we will inhale, slowly lift back up. Nice little quad strengthening here. And then exhale, bring the glutes back and take a seat. Breathe deeply here. Squeeze the inner thighs together like you're trying to create a wrinkle in the mat between your feet. Inhale, slowly rise. Does anybody have any questions about that? Did you feel anything in your lower back? Did anybody feel anything like that? If
No.
you do, okay. If you do, that means that your core is not engaged enough and you bring the belly in closer to the spine. Can we go through 3 more of those?
Yeah.
3 more. Okay. All right. So big toes touch. I really love this pose. It's such a great full body workout. So grow tall. Inhale, strengthen, lengthen. Exhale, take a seat. This time we'll take the arms down and back. Shoot the fingertips down and back so the ears are away from the shoulders a little bit more. Make sure you're tucking that tail just a little bit. Navel is in towards the spine. And like you have a corset on, somebody's tightening it. I want you to feel your waist shrinking. Even if it's only energetically, if you don't physically feel it, that's okay. Take an inhale, slowly rise. The arms come down and up, overhead. Exhale, begin to bend the knees, bring the arms forward, down and back as you enter into your full Utkatasana. Chair pose, fierce. Squeeze those quads, squeeze the glutes, put the weight of your body on your heels a little bit more. Breathe deeply. On your next inhale, slowly begin to straighten the knees, bring the arms up and overhead. So we'll try this. Now, some of us can't have our arms overhead. It hurts our shoulders. So then just have them out forward or have prayer hands, right? So honor your body where you're at. And if you need a modification for your arms, ask me. So here we have the arms up and overhead. We're going to do another version. Big toes are touching space between the heels. Take an inhale, grow tall. Exhale, bring the glutes back, bend the knees, and then extend the arms overhead by the ears if that's comfortable for your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. If this does not work for you, prayer hands or bring the arms back. So just be where you're at today. There are days that my shoulders can't do this. Take a breath, breathe deeply. See if you squat a little more, get your weight on your heels. You look amazing. Strength building. Yes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale and then rise up. Prayer hands to heart center. All right. Utkatasana, chair pose, fierce pose. How did that feel for you? Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Can everyone feel the burn in their thighs? We're good? All right.
Is it okay if our knees are touching each other and kind of pushing against each other?
I want them to be, yes. Yes. So there are 2 ways. That's a great question. So this is the safest way to do it. Because if we are in mountain pose with our feet hip distance, which we can do chair pose like that, of course. But when you come down and the weight of your body is on your heels, if there is not enough strength in the inner thighs and the quads, or if we're not being mindful, our knees can splay in or out, and that compromises our knees, our ankles, and our hips. So I like to have the big toes touch, space between the heels, and then come down, because that way our knees support each other. So in class, I will say, oh, let's energetically squeeze the inner thighs together like we're creating a wrinkle in the mat, right? Or I will say, let's energetically engage all the muscles and try to energetically pull the mat apart, right? You can see how that engages different muscles when you're energetically pulling the mat apart, or when you're squeezing the inner thighs together and coming in, right? Abductors, adductors. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I'm not kneed, so my knees tend to go together anyway.
So that, okay, so that is perfect. It's Babette, right? So,
Yes.
okay, yeah, I thought so. So in class, if I ever don't say the modification about putting the big toes to touch in the space between the heels, Babette, you're to do that. Because knock-kneed people, I'm so glad you said that, because knock-kneed people, even though you're hip distance and we come down, your knees are like this and you're compromising too much. So always have your big toes touch in the space between the heels. I'm so glad you told me that. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so from that, from our Utkatasana, we'll come into our mountain pose, our Tadasana. Woo. Engage all the muscles in the legs. It feels good after doing Utkatasana, our chair pose. Engage the quads, lift the kneecaps up, engage the inner thighs. The palms are reaching forward because we're externally rotating, our shoulders opening up the chest, and we grow tall. We inhale, gently lift the neck or the head off the neck, creating more space between the ears and the shoulders. There's probably not a class I won't teach where this is cued. If I could give homework, this would be your homework, to consciously stand tall and in alignments as many times a day as you can remember to do so. This act of Tadasana, mountain pose, helps the alignment in your body, helps the muscles from tensing up. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale it out the mouth, blink open the eyes, shake it out. Let's do a twirl here, giving our side body a nice little pat, kind of tapping on our internal organs, thanking them for working so efficiently for us. Okay, one other thing I wanted to work on today is twists. We're going to do a twist on, we do it in class a lot, but I want to break it down for you so there's no injury when we do it. Hands up if you have, or unmute yourself and say it's me, if you have osteoporosis in your spine. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's a huge win in life. All right, so come into your mountain pose. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead, and we're going to come down on the mat, but we're going to do it in a nice fold. We'll find our half lifts. We'll exhale, plant the hands, and we'll step back into plank. So before we move into our twist, I want to move into plank. So plant your knees and come into just sit and watch me for 1 minute, because we're going to be doing more planks in cardio and in strengthen and stretch with slow flow. We have to, planks are an awesome full body workout, but we have to do it in a way that we are safe, right? So your arms, when you come down from a forward fold, and I say plant your hands, I want you to be mindful that you plant your hands just like in tabletop. Fingers are spread, weight of the body is between the thumb and the index finger, and those inner elbows are coming forward. So always be mindful of that. Shoulders will always be over the wrists or back. We never extend over because it puts way too much of an angle in our wrist creases. So when I say forward fold, step it back to plank. This is a full plank right here. Elbows are forward, shoulders are over the wrists or behind. My body is long like a plank. My glutes aren't lifted and I'm not hovering down. Hovering down is so bad for your back. So this is full version of plank. This is our goal. We're going to get there together. Some of you might already be there, but modified plank are the knees down, the shoulders over the wrists, the elbows rotating forward so the shoulders can move down away from the ears, The neck is in line with the spine. Keep your core engaged. And from here, we just breathe. Keep the toes tucked to support you. And breathe. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Keep rolling the shoulders back and down. From here, inhale, and then exhale, come into child's pose. Roll your wrists. Does anyone have any questions about plank pose?
Nope.
Okay. Can anyone do a full plank? Okay, awesome. So when we're in our full plank or when we're in a modified plank, these are your clues to come out of it. If I don't call it before you're done, this is how you know you're done. If you're in a full plank, you start lifting your glutes, or you lose it and you start dumping your hips down. You come out of it right away, come into child's pose. Same thing if you're in a modified plank. If you're like this, overarching in the back, so bad. If you're dropping your hips and kind of like in like a funky upward facing dog, then you know that is your clue to know to come out of it and pause if I'm not cueing out before your body's done, okay? Are we good there? Okay, it's twist time. This goes by so fast, doesn't it? I wish we had more time together. All right, so we do this one a lot in class, so I want to make sure we're doing it correctly. So we'll come down to our backs. We'll hug the knees into the chest. We do that so that the spine has time to ground into the mat, and it's a great counter pose for, well, everything, planks. Rock side to side, giving your lower back a nice massage. And we'll finish today with our windshield wiper twists. So place the soles of the feet on the mat. Bring the arms out to a T with the palms facing up. Before we do anything else, tuck your shoulder blades under and tuck your chin, and make sure the small of your back is connected to the mat. And then heel toe your feet out, mat distance wide. We'll inhale, engage the core and the inner thighs. And when we exhale with control, we lower the knees nice and slow to the right. They don't have to touch the floor. Pause. So you're feeling the twist in the left side body. You can energetically stretch or pull that left glute toward the left heel. Breathe deeply. On your next inhale, engage the inner thighs and the core. Bring the knees up. Exhale, slowly lower the knees to the left. Keep the right shoulder on the mat. Pause wherever you are. Energetically, you push the right hip towards the right heel, lengthening the right side body a little bit more. Breathing deeply. We're going to move through the sequence, but does anybody have any questions about this? Okay. Take an inhale, slowly bring the knees up. Exhale, we're adding on knees to the right. Bring your gaze to the left, getting a nice rotation in your neck. We inhale, knees and gaze center. Breath is slow and deep, so is the movement. We exhale, lower the knees to the left, bring the gaze to the right. Inhale, knees and gaze center. Exhale, knees and gaze left. Do a couple more at your own pace with the rhythm of your breath. Always inhaling, engaging the core, bringing up, and exhaling, controlling the lowering down to each side. Each time you get to the bottom of that exhale and the twist, you can add on energetically pushing the hip towards the heel. The next time your knees are to the right and your gaze is to the left, pause. You can gently close your eyes, or keep them closed if they're not already. Option to take the left arm and extend it long overhead to give more of a stretch and a lengthening in the left side body. Close your eyes and breathe deeply into this torso twist. Every twist is so great for our internal organs. It brings out our organs, kind of gives them a massage, releases everything in them that does not serve us. It's like giving them a bath. Breathe deeply. The deeper we breathe, the more love we're giving to our internal organs, the more we're filling our lungs with oxygen, letting the rib cage expand out, giving the inside of our body a nice massage. Slowly bring that left arm out to a T if you took it overhead. Inhale, engage the core, bring everything up to center. Pause here, exhale it out. I always like to do an inhale, press the soles into the mat, lift the tailbone off the mat a little bit into a bridge pose, and then exhale one vertebra at a time down, allowing the tailbone to touch. I do that because I think it gives our spine a moment to adjust between twists. So I'll either do this or I'll have the knees hugged into the chest for a moment. From here, we inhale, engage the core, and then we exhale, slowly lower the knees to the left, gaze to the right, option to extend that right arm overhead. You can energetically push the right hip towards the heel and begin consciously breathing deeper into that right side twist. See if you can deepen the breath just a little bit more. Self-care and love right here. So easy to just care for ourselves. If we just take the time and commit. If the right arm is overhead, bring it out to a T. Inhale, engage the core, the inner thighs, bring the knees up. This time we'll hug the knees into the chest. Squeeze them in stillness, bringing your awareness to your spine. How does it feel pressed against the mat? Maybe you can even feel the energy flowing between each vertebra. We've opened up the channels. Twists open up channels in our vertebra so that nutrients, fluids, our nerves can all flow freely between each vertebra. It helps decrease the potential of discs fusing. Squeeze the knees into the chest again. Smile because it feels so fantastic. Gently rock side to side. Extend the legs long. Bring the arms overhead. Give yourself a nice big body stretch. Sway side to side if that feels good. Then hug the knees into the chest again. Roll over to the most comfortable side, curling up into a tiny little ball. And then slowly bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Prayer hands at heart center. Smile from the inside out. Achieving goals. It's one thing to have goals, but it's another thing to pragmatically take care of business and get to that goal. So I want to honor you. I want to thank you. I want to I can't stop smiling. I'm so happy to be here with you on the mats. So please know that the divine light within me truly bows and honors to the divine, beautiful, bright light within you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thanks.
So I would love for you to unmute yourselves. I would love to hear how the breaking down of the poses were. I'm going to put my thing here and here. Okay, that's better. All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Namaste. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about twists?
I just loved the class. I've been doing yoga for about 4 years, but then with the COVID, I was just doing some yoga at home on my own, but I love yoga. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Does so much for your mentally, emotionally, physically.
I know.
Like a blessing. So thank you.
It is a blessing. It is a blessing. So a lot of our goals are about relaxing, right? So when we breathe deeply, it's a physiological thing. When we breathe deeply, we connect to our parasympathetic nervous system, which calms us down, right? When we breathe shallow, when we breathe fast, we are tapping into the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, stressed out, tense, our muscles tense. That's a breath. That's what the power of breath has, the control it has on our bodies. So if your goal is to relax and really feel your divine self, you just have to commit to mindfully breathing slowly and deeply.
Yes. It's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. I love that you guys have the passion because I have so much passion for it. And sometimes I think I'm a little crazy, right? Because I'm like, oh, I breathed all the way down. I could feel it in my lowest part of my core. And my kids are like, oh, brother, mother, really? And I'm all, try it. You'll like it.
Yeah, it feels good.
Good, Susan. Now, does everybody understand the chair pose, right?
Yes.
Because we'll be doing it more. This is why I want to introduce the yoga for beginners. It's not really for beginners. It's for anybody because we just break down the pose so that we do it without injury. It gives time for someone like Babette to ask a question about the knees, right? That's going to help prevent injury. I'm so happy you asked that question, Babette. Loretta, you did amazing in your chair pose. I want everybody, I know we broke everything down and we talked about it a lot, but you did get a workout in. I hope you feel the warmth in your thighs, the connection in the inner thighs. I'm going to share my screen. Yes, Jan.
This is the first time I've ever done yoga, so I missed a lot of the details. So should I sign up for the class again, or do we get a copy?
Every class, so you will get an email, a video of this, yes. But every single class we do different poses. I mean, I will always break down the basics because I think that I practiced for years and got it wrong, right? So this just gives us time to break it down, all those little cues that help prevent injury, like rotating the inner elbows forward and tabletop, right? Those are just those minute cues that make the world of difference so that you can practice forever. Okay. Yes, so keep signing up, yes. And join other classes because then you will be able to incorporate what we're doing here in a class.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody else have any questions? I have to share my screen. Oh, I just love seeing your smiling faces. It makes me so happy. All right, so we love at Get Set Up. We love to hear your experience. So please email Liz at getsetup.io and share your experience. Jan just asked the question. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I teach 3 classes tomorrow. So go on the schedule and check it out and sign up. I also, there's also amazing guides that teach other forms of fitness. So check it out. We're so blessed that we have so many amazing instructors and guides. You will receive class notes after this with a video. And if you don't get the video, email help@getsetup.io and they will send that right to you. We love to hear your feedback. Anybody that has given me feedback, they know that I respond and I'm on it. It helps me be the best guide for you possible. I am here for your health and wellness, and I will do everything and anything to help you achieve that goal.
I really
Oh,
thank you.
Oh, Mary, thank you so much.
This
Thank
is my
you.
first time, by the way, taking yoga, and I'm amazed. I'm just like, wow, I feel great.
It's amazing. So all different kinds of yoga. I teach 11 classes a week. So yoga and meditation was last night. I teach it again on Wednesday. I teach a couple cardio classes. Don't be intimidated because you come to class and you show up for yourself, self-care, self-love, achieving your goals, right? And then you participate to the point where you need to take a break, and then you take a break, and then you join us again, and then you take a break when you need to take a break, right? If you don't show up for yourself and you don't move your body, you're never going to get there, right? So maybe you're doing 20 minutes or 10 minutes of the class that we're doing, but then each time you show up, you do a couple minutes more and a couple minutes more. And then in a few weeks, months, you'll be amazed at the progress you make. So please keep showing up. Do not get discouraged. This is a no judgment zone. We don't take ourselves seriously. We enjoy the experience we're having in the moment. Okay?
Yes.
Tell a friend, tell all your friends, tell your friends, tell your family, get them on Get Set Up. We have thousands of classes that we offer you. So please take advantage of everything and really utilize this amazing platform. If you would like to host an interest group, let us know. We'd love to have you. If there's a new class that you'd like to see on the schedule, let us know. We love feedback. If there's an organization or a company that you believe aligns with the Get Set Up mission and vision of improving the lives of older adults, let us know. We really want to build that foundation so we can keep offering you the best classes that you want. And again, you can request the video if you don't receive it from help@getsetup.io. We have Todd with us who can help with any questions about registering for a class or navigating the website. So anybody else have any questions or comments that they would like to share?
Just
Okay.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you tomorrow for one of the classes that I'm teaching, or all of them. Some of you come to all of them on Mondays and Wednesdays, and it's just the best. I love it so much. So, and then I'll see you Thursday. I teach 3 classes on Thursday as well, and then 1 on Friday and 1 on Sunday. But please look at the schedule and look at all the other opportunities for classes that Get Set Up offers, because it's amazing. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'll see you soon. Namaste.
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 You too.
You're a fabulous teacher.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you. You know what?
Love
You're a
it.
fabulous learner. All of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.